Fear Not, episode 138. Hi, I'm Billy Atwell, and I believe that consistently facing your fears is the only way to realize your truest self and to make those confident choices that will help you to obtain your deepest held hopes and dreams. I have faith that this podcast series will show you that you are not alone, that it will strengthen you and give you courage to face your fears, and that it will help you to permanently cross over into a life of living beyond your fears. Join me on this journey as we listen and learn from others as they share their experiences in facing and overcoming their own fears. The legendary Patty Palmer spent over 3 decades developing the Palmer Plush tissue fitting method. This technique allows you to create clothes that fit your body rather than rigidly adhering to the pattern's contours. Palmer Plush fitting workshops and online courses are designed for both the beginner and advanced sewist and provides a polished piece that looks custom-made. For more information on the available Palmer Plush fitting workshops and online courses, visit palmerplush.com. palmerplush.com. Hello, everybody. Today, you and I are going to be joined by kdavis. Welcome, Kishel. How are you today?
I am great, Billy. It's a pleasure to be on the call with you.
Are you ready to fear not today?
I am always ready to fear not.
Great. Kishel is the founder and CEO of the Training Authority, where she designs, develops, and delivers programs and courses for executives, employees, and entrepreneurs. She is formerly the executive director of the Bahamas Chamber Institute, the educational arm of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, and converted it into one of the fastest-growing training organizations in the Bahamas. In 2006, Kishel became the founding president of the Future Female Leaders Investment Group, where she heads a team of empowered and driven women who have started a journey toward financial freedom through business, investing, and education. She's also a mentor and inspiration to many up-and-coming female entrepreneurs through Girlfriends and Company, an organization she founded dedicated to supporting women entrepreneurs. Kishel, can you take a few moments to fill in those gaps and maybe also give us a brief glimpse of your personal life?
Well, you pretty much, thank you, Bill, said it all. I'm an entrepreneur by heart. So I have, and my passion is education. So I've done a lot of business surrounding that juncture of business and education. And so that's what I do. I spend most of my time in a corporate client with a corporate client in a classroom teaching, delivering some type of message. Outside of that, when I'm not in teaching mode or business mode, I live in the Bahamas, so I love the beach, and I love spending time with my family. And that's about it for me.
Kishel, would you also share with us today one of the biggest fears that you've had to face?
Well, fear is one of those biggest enemies I think everyone have. For me, the biggest fear really was the fear of failure. I like to say that I am a recovering perfectionist, Billy. And so for me, with that mindset of everything having to be perfect, my biggest fear really was failing. Things not being perfect the way that I wanted them, and so that's been something that I've managed and I've fortunately gotten over with over in this last few years of being in business. But that was something that I had to really deal with.
So how did you overcome that fear?
You know, I would say one of the things that has helped me really is good people, surrounded myself with good mentors, people who have been where I wanted to be. Growing in business, it's being an entrepreneur and being a business person is never easy. If anyone tells you it's easy, they I don't know which glasses that they're looking through. And so for me, being able to overcome that fear, particularly as it relates to growing a business, has been really getting the right support, mentorship, guidance from people who I looked up to in business. Yeah.
Is that how you approach fear in general, surrounding yourself with a support group, or how do you face fear in general?
Now, I mean, before definitely, finding the right people, communicating to those who I looked up to, and that's something I still do today. To me now, I have gotten so used to fear. One of the books that I've read, Pivot, talked about failing faster and feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So for me, I've developed this relationship, I would say, with fear where I recognize it. I don't run from it. I acknowledge it when I'm always working towards something greater and bigger and a new project that's coming up that have me anxious. But I always look at it and look past it now. So I before it used to paralyze me or it used to slow me down, at least the very least. Now I look at it as, you know what, it's a part of success, it's a part of learning, it's a part of growing. And I seek now, my mindset is, let me fail faster. Let me do it and learn from it and move on.
I know you mentioned the book Pivot. Are there other resources that you could share with us today that we might be able to incorporate into our own journeys in facing our fears?
Yes, definitely Pivot. It's by Adam McKell. It's one of my favorite books. I would say outside of the classics, and the classics are the typical Think and Grow, which really focuses on your mindset. One of my favorite books, Billy, is Outwitting the Devil by Sharon Lecter. It was rewritten by her, but it was originally written by Napoleon Hill. It really, really got to me the first time I read it, and the second and the third time I've read the book. It really teaches you to the same thing to overcome those roadblocks in life that come into your way when you're pursuing a particular goal or purpose, and being aware of the fact that there are roadblocks, and sometimes it's intentional by the enemy who's trying to keep you away from your purpose. It really caused me to really look at things from a new perspective and see things for what they are, and move forward with a clear vision each and every day.
Are you ready for the speed round?
Yes.
What individual, whether they're fiction or real, has made the most impact on your life?
I would say, Billy, pastor right here locally in the Bahamas. His name is Dr. Miles Monroe. Um, he is no longer on this earth, but he has been a personal mentor to me, and taught me just the right principles for living outside of business. He has been a great support and just taught me the right principles for living, and I attribute quite a lot of my success to him.
If you could instantly change one thing in the world, what would you change?
I would change the lack of peace that we have in our world, Billy. I get upset very often when I see violence and the things that's happening in many places in our society that go against peace. I pray for peace often, and I pray and I wish that our life, our world would change to have more peace.
What's your biggest weakness?
I would go the food, Billy. I am addicted by to sweets, so my biggest weakness is anything sweet.
What's your biggest strength?
I would say my biggest strength is perseverance. I am not one to give up easily, and I'm not one to give up. I am one to brush myself off and evaluate where things went wrong, and I am back on the horse the very next day, perhaps even sometimes the same day. So I'm definitely a relentless individual who persevere through it all.
I know you mentioned that you've got quite a few favorite books, but if you could only have one book to read,
Hmm.
what book is that going to be?
Oh, Billy, that is very difficult. I am what you call a book hoard. It's a little a notch up from a book lover, so that's pretty difficult. But if I had to choose one that I talk about quite often when I work with people and when I teach, is a book, a very, very small book by the name of U Squared. It's by Price Pritchard. It's you can read it pretty much in maybe an hour or two, but it's one of those books that changed the course of my life when I read it. That's the book that really caused me many years ago to leave my secure, as we say in the Bahamas, good government job and head dive deep into entrepreneurship. And I've recommended that book countless times over to people.
Do you have a favorite sound?
Definitely the waves of the ocean.
And Kishel, if someone would like to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can reach me on my website, Keishel Davis. That's Keshelle, or Facebook, Keishel Davis, or anywhere on social media, Keishel Davis.
And what parting advice would you like to leave with us today?
I would say to anyone listening that if you have a dream, pursue the dream in spite of fear. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Your dreams, your success, anything that you want is on the opposite side of fear. And if you find the right people and find the right perspective towards the things that you want in life, you can have it. So feel the fear and do it anyway.
Excellent advice, and thank you so much for that. And Kishel, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, and giving us some really great resources today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Billy. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for joining me today. And remember, you cannot achieve everything, but you do have the God given ability to achieve anything. So stay focused, out of fear, and keep on keeping on. Until next time, be well and peaceful. For more information on today's episode and guest, or for resources that will assist you in overcoming your fears, visit livingbeyondyourfears.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, where 3 times a week we move to a life beyond our fears.